All right, we have 3 lectures this evening. First 2 are very short, but when I covered this a couple semesters ago, there was a couple things that I felt the students were missing. Okay, so let's talk about P and EXP and one-way functions. Okay, it says a polynomial is made from terms that are only added, subtracted, and multiplied. Okay, so a P problem is a very basic problem. It's easy. Okay. Polynomials are sums of variables in their expressions. They're algebraic expressions. They include real numbers or variables. Division and square roots cannot be involved for it to be a polynomial or a P problem. Okay? All right, variables can only include addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Nothing else. So a P problem is a very basic problem. Okay? These are examples of P problems. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, that's all we're using. No division whatsoever. Okay? Okay. EXP is exponential because it's non-integer power, and there's examples of some. Okay, or any problem that can't be solved in polynomial time. I hate this stupid thing. I don't know why it comes up every time. Okay, it says, however, they would take forever to try every combination of a simple knapsack, whether 2 to the 200 apart. And the question is, how big is that? How big is 2 to the 200th? Well, it's actually that. That's a very large number. So the knapsacks we looked with, the digits are 2 to the 200th apart. So they are very large. Okay? So just one-way hash functions. Could you take this on the left and create the windshield out of it? There's no way. But you could go the other way. What? Yeah, but it wouldn't be the same windshield. Okay. So the point is a one-way hash function can be done one way. It can't go backwards. Okay? So you can't take the left and make the right. You can only make the right and make the left. You can't go the other way. Okay? All right. MD5, for instance, here's an MD5 hash. Was produced by this statement. This is a super secret message. Okay? This hash, do you agree the hash is different? Totally different hash. Was produced by that. The only thing difference is the H. So changing one small value, you'll see it basically changed probably every single digit in the hash. So there's no way we could take this hash and work backwards to get to what we started with. But what happens what is it called when you have 2 things that produce the same hash? Anyone know? There's a name for it. It's a collision. Okay? If you have 2 things that produce the same hash, it would be called a collision. And MD5 does have a vulnerability in it. They proved that if you have a specific length message and change a specific bit in a specific spot, it'll produce the same hash. So it's called a collision. So they recommend not using it. Yet everyone still does. 'Cause I mean, it's kind of like the old Intel Pentium 66 problem. Did anyone buy a computer back then? None of you are probably old enough. I bought the Pentium 66. They released them just before Christmas. And as soon as they released them, Christmas hit because everybody bought them. Then they said there was a floating point error at like the 4 billionth position. No one would ever have a problem with that. But since there was an issue with the chip, they gave everybody a brand new chip. So it was the fact that there was an error in it, even though it would never affect us, they still replaced it. So MD5, has a slight error in it. It's just that it's never going to affect anything. Okay? So that's all of the first one. Okay. The first 2 are very short.